All right, welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show, NFL Ups and Downs edition. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski. NFL Ups and Downs is a show where we talk about things that are up or good in the NFL and things that are down and quite pitiful in the NFL. We'll have a lot to choose from today. Our special guest today, Trevor Zaleski, all the way from Marshfield, Wisconsin. Trevor, how you doing?
Gang. No, we're doing good.
Okay, I think that's a good thing. All right, and in Muncie, Indiana, in the red corner, Doug Zaleski.
How's everybody?
Everybody's good. All right, well, like last week, week 3, to this week, week 4, we've had a lot to choose from. A lot of exciting games, a lot of last-minute finishes. Actually, week 5, sorry. We are just finished up week 5 in the NFL. And so we will go around the horn. We will start first in Muncie, Indiana. Doug, your NFL up.
Hello, everybody. Last week I honored the late Tom Petty. This week it's John Lennon songs. This was his birthday week, October 10th, actually, or I guess it was the 9th. So in honor of John Lennon songs, my up is Mr. Aaron Rodgers, and we'll call this Imagine, as in, imagine if your team's quarterback was like Aaron Rodgers. What more needs to be said? You folks in Wisconsin don't need to be reminded of what he did in Dallas. He seems to own Dallas, and another great comeback. Completed 65% of his passes on Sunday and led the Packers to a win in Dallas with a stirring fourth quarter comeback. Scored the go-ahead touchdown with 11 seconds left. Had a quarterback rating in the game of 122.9. He did it all.
Yeah, he did. He had a great game. All right, your NFL down.
Well, my NFL down, I'm going to go to another NFL quarterback. And this is Big Ben, Mr. Ben Roethlisberger of the Steelers. John Lennon sang the song Watching the Wheels. I would say watching the wheels come off for Big Ben. 5 interceptions, 2 pick sixes for him against the Jacksonville Jaguars? Come on. That's the best you got? Ben is doubting himself a little bit. He doubted himself last spring. He's doubting himself now after that 5 interception game. He said, quote, maybe I don't have it anymore. And maybe he doesn't. I don't know. This might be the beginning of the end for Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, Ben might be cooked. We'll see. We're 5 weeks in. He's got 11 more games to see what he and his still first-place Steelers can do. Fortunately for Ben and the rest of Steeler Nation, they're in one of the worst divisions in football. All right, well, Trevor, we'll go to you. I know you watched Cowboys-Packers on Sunday. Thoughts on Doug's NFL up, Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, Aaron, he played a really good game. I think the Cowboys, they do it. They've done it last week too against the Rams, where they'll start off doing well, defense holding up, and then as the third, fourth quarter rolls around, and as Aaron Rodgers in this case has more attempts against the defense just starts to break down, and it can't keep up with those high-powered offense such as the Rams or the Packers.
Right. Okay. And I know you did a little research on Ben Roethlisberger yourself, so I'm sure you'll agree with Doug's down.
Yeah, I had Ben Roethlisberger as my down too. Just to add, yeah, so he had 5 interceptions, 2 of them pick sixes. He has 7 total interceptions on the year. And that was also the game they played in Pittsburgh on a sold-out crowd. He had a QBR of 22.2, not very good. And also, he threw the ball 55 times, averaging 5.7 yards per attempt. So, can't throw the ball that much, and can't expect to be that good. So, not very good.
Yeah, not very good.
No, you're right about that. On last week's edition of the Zaleski Sports Show, me and Adam Sievert, our resident Green Bay Packer expert, both agreed it would come down to whoever had the ball last. And so Packers, a nice job, good win down in Dallas. Still the favorites and in prime position in the NFC North. Although with the Vikings winning last night, they're hot on their tail. Vikings-Packers coming up in just a few days, so we'll see how that match works itself out. And then, with Ben Roethlisberger, bad news for sure. I still go back to the first Super Bowl he won where he had a quarterback rating of 3. So I don't know how good he's really ever been. Certainly, though, he's got 2 rings or a few rings to show for it. Doug, one of those interception pick sixes, Toledo's very own Barry Church.
I saw that. Mr. Church moving on up in the world.
All right. Well, Trevor, you will go next. You already mentioned your NFL down. Steelers, any more you want to add on that one?
Covered it. Le'Veon Bell also being kind of not very productive, but you also can't run the ball when you're behind, so I didn't expect much out of him as seeing them down. So hopefully they can just bounce back. They seem to have a pretty good offense, not with Roethlisberger these past couple weeks, but
right. I know a lot of fantasy football owners hoping Le'Veon Bell is able to do something this year. All right, then Trevor, your NFL up.
My NFL up this week just happened today. Adrian Peterson. He got traded to the Cardinals, who are 2-3. It seems like Cardinals may be in panic mode. I don't know. They haven't been very good lately. They actually are 1 game out of first in the NFC West. The Seahawks lead the NFC West right now. It's kind of funny how it happened, though, with Adrian Peterson. He actually, the Cardinals cut Chris Johnson, who tweeted this September 11th, quote unquote, AP needs more touches. So I guess the Cardinals listened to him. Cut Chris Johnson, took AP, and I guess we'll see what happens with that. That's my NFL up, is Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, all right. Well, there you go, Doug. Trevor filling in for our regular Jamie, and I think he did pretty good there. What do you think?
Yeah, obviously I like this Roethlisberger down selection. Adrian Peterson up. I don't know. I think he's a broken down warhorse. I don't expect him to do much in Arizona. The Vikings didn't want him. The Saints took him. Turned out they didn't want him. Arizona, I think, kind of reaching at straws, hoping that he can regain something. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're all of one accord on the Steelers and Roethlisberger. I think that will now speak for itself as far as Week 5 Pittsburgh Steelers are concerned. And I was a little shocked. I guess I would have thought the Saints may just release Peterson. I know in that first game against Minnesota, Peterson wanted all the carries. He and Peyton got on a little bit of a scuffle on the sideline about it. I would have thought they might have released him. So at least they were able to come to some sort of solution there. All right, well, moving on then to me. My NFL up are the NFL odds makers. Odds makers, the sharps in general, always just never cease to amaze me, and they did it again this week. Last week on the Doug Zaleski Show, me and Doug talked about the Buffalo Bills being +3 at Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Bengals struggled to score all year. Bills had just beat the Patriots. They've got a couple other nice wins under their belt. How in the world could the odds makers put the Buffalo Bills +3 at hopeless, hapless Cincinnati? Well, wouldn't you know it, the Bengals won by 4. So the odds makers are something else, and if you were like me and emptied half of your betting account on the Bills, you're probably a little bit upset even that even took place. Doug and I thought that bet was a shoo-in, and that turned out to be a money loser for a lot of people. My NFL down is the New York Giants. Eli Manning has had a tumultuous career, even with the 2 Super Bowls. A lot of people still don't regard him as a very good quarterback. And now he's missing all of the weapons that the prognosticators thought would propel the Giants to an NFC East crown. Odell Beckham, out for the year. Dwayne Harris, out for the year. Brandon Marshall, probably out for the year. And that all happened yesterday. So that is my NFL down. Giants are at 0-5 and probably staring down the barrel of 0-16. Trevor, your thoughts?
Yeah, people would say that the Giants have, before the season started, had one of the best receiving cores in the NFL. If you look at it on paper, it looked well. Odell, rookie last year, Sterling Shepard, who looked well last year and coming into his second year, picking up Brandon Marshall, first-round draft pick Evan Ingram, and it just the offensive line, who was okay last year, just turned out to be a flop this year. Everything just kind of seems to be falling apart for them. And their defense, as good as it is, can't hold up when their offense always has them on the field. So it doesn't look good in New York.
Yep, good insight there. Trevor, we'll skip you. You're not quite of betting age. Doug, how about that? The odds makers pretty much hit it on the nose down in Cincinnati.
Well, there's a reason that when you go to Las Vegas, there's all these bright lights and everything there. They're able to afford to pay that electric bill based on the odds being in Vegas's favor all the time, and that's no different in the sports book. These guys know what they're doing. Obviously, I would assume there was a lot of action on Buffalo, and I'm sure the sports books made a haul on that game.
Mm-hmm.
As far as you're down, Eli Manning looks like he's kind of coming to the end of his career here. He doesn't look very good. The pieces around him are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look like the Giants will win a lot of games, so maybe it's time for them to draft Eli's successor this year. There's 2 or 3 quarterbacks that figure to be kind of at the top of the draft list, and if the Giants are picking in the top 5 or 6 picks, which it looks like they probably could be now, they might want to think about taking Eli's successor.
Yeah, certainly, and the Chosen Rose out in California could be headed all the way across to the bright lights of Manhattan. We'll see what happens. Some good things to think about there. So, all right, well, that was a pretty good NFL up and down session, I think. Jamie, we'll see you in a couple weeks. Jamie's also going to be on vacation next week, so we will sub in for Jamie again, and we'll have to wait another 2 weeks to talk about the Tennessee Titans, who take on the Colts Monday Night Football. That's all I'll say about that. So, Trevor, thanks for joining us. Thanks for filling in for Jamie. Any shout-outs you want to leave us with today?
No, we'll save it for next time.
All right, you work your way up towards that for sure. All right, Doug Zaleski, also host of the Doug Zaleski Radio Show. Where can folks find you on the radio?
In Muncie, Indiana, 102.9 FM, 1340 AM. You can also listen to the show on the World Wide Web at WXFN. You can catch replays of the show either on my Facebook page, Doug Zaleski Show, or my Twitter account at Doug Zaleski. The show is on for an hour at 2 o'clock every weekday, Wisconsin time.
There you go. All right, and you are likely watching this show on ZaleskiSportsShow.com. You can also check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Links are just to the right of this video. Click on them and they'll take you the rest of the way. Thanks everybody for watching. We will see you next week.